and I want to talk to you. I just was like in the middle of a workout, so this is probably not the most prepared live I've ever had, but I do know what I want to say to you. And I was in the middle of a workout, and I was like, oh, it's 9, so my kids' school has gone virtual. So what I thought this week was going to look like, and what this week actually ended up looking like, is drastically different. So my kids have been virtual and my life has changed. So that's why you've seen lots of watch parties. But this morning I've been working out, and then I was like, oh, it's 9 o'clock. I need to hop on and say hello and check in with you guys. Then I gotta still do sit-ups after this. So what I want to talk to you about is a conversation I actually had with my kids yesterday at lunch. And my son said, if you had 3 wishes, what would they be? So my 3 wishes happen to be for my kids to always stay safe, for everyone in the world to hear my message so that people know that when they've been in a toxic relationship, it doesn't necessarily mean that something was so wrong with them, but that toxic people tend to target really wonderful people. So many times you've been in a toxic relationship because of what was so right with you. Being agreeable, being kind, being forgiving, being too giving, worrying about others instead of yourself, right? So these are all things that toxic people love. And my life's work is helping you still be that good, kind, loving, giving person. But also, be toxic person proof, right? So you don't end up in another toxic cycle. And that is not just romantic cycles. Toxic friendships drain you. Toxic work drains you. Toxic whatever drains you. Okay? So those are 2 of my wishes. 1, for my kids to always be safe. 2, to get this message out to the entire world and it become as common knowledge that in a healthy relationship, both parties play by the same set of rules. I want that to be just as common knowledge as the sky is blue and the grass is green. And then my 3rd was that Ben and I would die at the same time, so I didn't ever have to live without him. So that's what my 3 wishes were. Of course, the kids are all stuff about finances and money and, oh, I want $1 trillion and I want this, because they're kids, right? And those are my 3 wishes. And I wanted to ask you what your 3 wishes are. Now, if you've ever seen Aladdin, you know the genie has some rules around the wishes. Okay, you can't wish for more wishes, and you can't wish for someone to fall in love with you. Okay, so that's the genie's wishes. Those are the wishes my kids brought to me. And so you can't wish for more wishes. You can't wish for someone to fall in love with you. And I'm going to add, you can't wish for a toxic person to change. Because you've been wishing for that for a long time. In fact, if you had 100 wishes, they would probably be that your toxic person would change. Oh, I just wish my mother would change. I wish he would change. I wish my daughter would change. I wish whoever those people are in your life that have a continued pattern. We all have bad days. None of us are perfect. But toxic people have a pattern of toxic behavior. A pattern of image management, a pattern of flipping things to make them your fault, a pattern of the blame game, a pattern of expecting you to always solve their problems for them, a pattern of making you feel like you're never good enough, whatever the case may be. There's lots of varieties of toxic people, but the pattern is consistent. And sometimes it's consistently inconsistent, right? So, oh, you know, one day they're going to say, oh, no, I'm going to change, I'm going to do this, and then the next day they're angry again. And you're walking on eggshells. That is a pattern. So don't think, oh no, sometimes they're this. If the pattern is when you are going to make changes, or you're going to leave, or you're going to set a boundary, then they hook you back in. That's not, or they even do something, oh, people will say, oh, they did something nice for me. Like they planned a trip. Well, did they stop being selfish? Well, no, they tried to do something nice. They brought flowers. The fact that you have flowers, you could be mean as a snake and bring flowers every day. That does not solve the problems. Real change happens when they decide to not be selfish anymore. Real change is when your needs become as important and sometimes more important than their needs. Okay? So, 3 wishes. I would love to know in your comments what your 3 wishes are. So, someone falling in love with you. You could wish for a healthy relationship. That's fine. I wish my ex-husband would change and fall in love with me and come back to me. That is not the point of this exercise, nor is it helpful as you try to move forward, right? Not at this stage of my life, but at one point, all of us would have wished those types of things. And if all your wishes are about your toxic person, that gives you a lot of data about your current healing strategy. If none of your wishes are for you, if none of your wishes are things you can actually move forward on, if your whole life is about that person, that's data too. So it's a fun exercise just because it's fun, and I want to help you learn how to dream again. But it also can be very telling if you say, I don't have any wishes. I just want to survive. I just want my toxic person to change. My life is about them. I don't even know what it's like to have a life about me. That is really telling information on its own. So be brave, think about it, and comment and give me your 3 wishes. Have a good day.